What's up, everybody?
Come on, everybody! How y'all doing? Dumbox, how are you, champion?
And I'm doing great. Doing great. Can everybody hear us?
Let's check in with you now. I know you couldn't hear us before, but hopefully you can now. Dom,
man, we got a packed house.
Video. Yes, you should be able to see us as well. Hear and see us. We're going to have a packed house. Houston, we have liftoff loud and clear. Bruce Steve's in, man. Want to make sure you can see us as well.
Loud and clear. We're good to go.
Sean Hayes. Robbie says no.
Yeah, Johnny, what's up, guys? We can hear and see you.
Come on, man. It wouldn't be a Sales Hustlers event without us firstly running fiber, get my internet connection. Man, I've closed down like half of Bali in order to get this one going. So. Ooh. Dombox has left the room. Where has Dombox gone? Very good. Very, very, very good. Well, I want to give a shout out to everybody. Sean Hayes, Chris Yancey, Cecilia Johnson, James Hernandez, Jeffrey Hutton. How are you, champion? Here's Dommy's back. See, it wasn't the Bali internet connection. It was the Kansas City one. Come on, Dombox. You're back.
Hey, I'm back. Hey, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that.
It's the Missouri connection. It wasn't the Bali connection that we were worried about.
Well, I'm here now.
Man, you're here. Man, you've got some exciting things to share. Man, you've been doing marketplace for how long, Dombox?
So let me preface this by saying I started in the car business. I walked into this dealership on accident on Cinco de Mayo of last year. I hit the floor in June. And I really started using Marketplace effectively, I would say, since around Halloween time. I saw the potential. I had joined Sales Hustlers, been to Orlando. I'd done the whole lot up, fighting for the same 3 or 4 people every day thing. And I realized that if I wanted to, one, make this my career, and two, have the kind of success both, financially and personally, I had to go out there and do something and get people to come to me. And thankfully I found that thing, and it was Facebook Marketplace.
And it's definitely been your point of difference. Everybody's been hitting you up. I want to ask you, Dom, how many people are hitting you up on a regular basis to coach them through Marketplace?
I mean, conservatively, I would say between 10 and 15 people a week. Honestly, it's I'm honored. I'm happy that people that are messaging me and reaching out and seeing that what I'm doing is working. But as you know, David, with what we do, it's great to be on Facebook all day, but I'm still out selling cars, and it's not that I don't want to help everybody, because I do. I'm in this webinar right now, but to everybody who has reached out to me that I didn't get a response to, one, I want to thank you. And two, hopefully you're in here, because now you're going to get the juice, you're going to get the tricks, and you're going to see what I've done to get me to where I'm at right now. And I'm happy you're here.
Man, it's fantastic. We've all got to find our niche, and you've definitely found it with Facebook Marketplace. How many strategies have you tried?
My strategy is something that's constantly evolving. I started out just putting stock photos up on my Facebook business page. I started out, using call logs and call lists that were provided by my dealership. Like I said, I fought for ups. And then I found out, hey, I'm spending all my time on Facebook anyway, and we've got this marketplace thing, and I see people posting cars, but I don't see anybody posting cars effectively, or a way that, as a consumer, I would be interested in, and that would get me, wanting to potentially purchase a car off Facebook. So I've tweaked what I've been doing a little bit, and I'm still constantly growing. But man, this past month, if I can, not to brag on myself at all or anything like that, but
everybody's here so you can brag.
Well, I got first in my dealership and either first or second in my entire complex last month which is me going from someone that was, mid totem pole, kind of right there, to now at that next level. And the big thing, and what was most exciting, was 100%. Every single lead, all of my cars I sold this month or last month were directly from Facebook Marketplace. So I'm not saying it's the only thing, but Marketplace magic works. And, I know that once I get more organized and get more structured and really start to teach people and refine and figure out what it is that I'm doing well and eliminating what's not working, I can scale this up and double my production. I mean, no question asked. I mean, this is a formula that if you follow it, it will work. I promise you. Kind of this past month was just, I knew what I was doing, but I didn't have the set structure that I have now and what's in front of me. And I was still able to just shatter my personal record and get to that level where I'm going to consistently be.
Man, it's fantastic. So, man, we want to get stuck in because we don't want to take too much of everybody's night up. But I'm going to share my, so I have a few just slides just to keep us on track so we don't go over time. Make sure if you've got any questions, most importantly, I've got a bit of feedback in the microphone. I might just move my microphone out of the way. Most importantly, if you've got questions, we want to make this about you. So put it in the comment section off to the side, and we'll get to your questions at the end. But most importantly, let me just share my screen. Turn screen share on. Marketplace magic. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll be able to see us down the bottom. You'll be able to see the slides as we sort of scroll through them.
I love that they're actual Marketplace pictures of my posts. I like that.
Come on, man. I just went onto your site and, plagiarized. They say it's the highest form of flattery.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
on that note, I'm going to quote Socrates, who said, "The only thing I know nothing." And I don't claim to be a guru of any sort. I don't claim to know everything about Facebook Marketplace. But what I do know is that I found a method that works for me. And I promise you, if you'll listen and maybe tweak it to make it work for you, you're going to see a result. It's just, it's a science, essentially. So, yeah.
Right. Really good, man. Really good. So that you're right. There is a science. There's a format to anything. So what we're going to talk to you about, what Dom's going to do, and I'm just going to facilitate this, is we're going to give you a bit of an overview of what Marketplace is, and then talk about 3 secrets that really Dom's hit in order to maximize 100% of his sales last month coming from Marketplace, which are: secret number 1 is your pictures, getting the right pictures. Secret number 2 is your posts. And secret number 3 is your phrases. The 3 Ps, my friend.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that everybody here is on Facebook. So you know what that is. If you are on an iPhone or an Android, you're going to open up your Facebook app, and down there in the middle of the screen, there's a little house-looking button, a house-shaped button. You click on that. That's going to take you to Facebook Marketplace. And in Marketplace, you see all of your friends, all of your neighbors, people you don't know, people that are in your city or in your surrounding community that are posting different items for sale, whether it's a Dodge Challenger, some gold coins. I mean, I've seen everything on there. But it also breaks it down into categories. And obviously for us car sales professionals, we're more focused on vehicles. And when you want to sell an item, you click on Marketplace, you click on the item that you want to sell, which is a vehicle. You're going to fill out some basic information: the year, the make, the model, the miles, and the type of transmission. And then from there, it's up to you. You've got to put pictures in, you've got to put put some text in there and make your ad attractive. And then it sends it out. And based on, from what I understand, whatever radius settings your clients have set on their Facebook Marketplace, it's going to be shot out to everybody. And so your car is going to be up there next to silverware set and some used clothes, whatever. But that's essentially what Marketplace is. I'm going to assume that most of you already know what that is. So for those of you that don't, I hope the brief introduction makes sense. But
that makes a lot of sense. It's really important.
Yeah, and there is an absolute difference between Facebook Marketplace and Facebook groups, and I'm going to get into that. But a lot of times I see people saying, "Oh, I'm posting to Marketplace," when they really And I want to create that distinction. There is a difference between marketplace and groups, and where I draw the most financial benefit is from marketplace. And I'm going to cover groups, but we want to make that distinction.
Okay, so to clarify, Dom, marketplace is free for everybody. Is that right?
Absolutely free. Absolutely free. You can use it on your desktop, on your tablet, on your computer, or your phone. And the real benefit to marketplace is you don't have to be friends with the people that are seeing your products. You don't have to join any secret group. Literally, you could start a Facebook page right now. If you're somebody who's, an old car dog and you think, I'd like to get into this social media sales thing, but I don't want to create a page. I don't want to create a brand. That's okay. You could have one friend on your Facebook page, get into marketplace, and still have your products seen by thousands of people. So I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, no, really powerful. Okay, so do you post, do you have to set up a business page? This is the next question for you. Do you have to set up a business page to do it, or your personal profile?
Yeah, so the interesting thing about Facebook Marketplace is you do it directly from your personal page. Now, I do want to let you guys know, I noticed yesterday on my Dom Does Cars business page, there was the option that said, click here to link your or list your vehicles. I've not messed with that yet. It's not something that I've done. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So right now, that'd be something that I would just not look into too much, just because I haven't spent any time researching it. And to clarify and to answer your question, yes, you don't need a business page. You don't need anything special, just your standard regular Facebook page.
All right, fantastic. So while you're here, the reason that you're in, and can I just say there's 45 people on the call, but the amazing thing is, Dom, we've had more than 130 registrations, so a lot of people will watch this after the fact. But look, why you're here is because you want some quick wins. And the reality is there's no such thing as a quick win in the car industry, but marketplace gives you a shortcut. Am I right, Don Box?
There's no other way to put it. If you do and employ the tricks that I'm going to teach you and give you the strategies that I'm going to give you right now, tonight, you will sell a car by the end of the week, guaranteed, and probably a lot more.
Wow, fantastic. So that's our goal for you tonight. Our goal for you is that you learn some key strategies on how to sell a car by the end of the week. Now, everybody's asking the same question, Dom. So before I'm doing question and answer at the end, but are you using this for new or used cars or both?
I'm using them for both, and I'm gonna get into some of the specifics on what works best. But don't for a second think that this is only for used cars or this is only for new cars, because it's really a hybrid strategy, and I'm gonna get into that. It's different approaches with each one, but you're gonna be doing both. Yeah.
Fantastic. So be aware that this is not something that Dom's just created overnight. This is something that he's tested a lot of different strategies. And so that's why we're running you through this on this webinar training. Do me a favor, stick around right to the end. We'll be under an hour tonight total. We've got some amazing stuff to talk about and some next steps and some more training that Dom's going to share all for free, which is really, really cool. So good on you, Dom. I appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
So here are the 3 secrets we're going to talk about, and I'm going to let Dom talk and take over in a second. And that is the 3 secrets to marketplace magic. So the 3 P's, Dom: pictures, posts, and phrases.
That's right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it.
Let's get stuck into pictures, man. I want to talk pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. The first step, the first trick, and the most important thing about your marketplace post is the picture. If you guys are on your phones, go ahead and pull up Marketplace right now and just go ahead and scroll through that. You are going to see a ton right here on this screen. For example, right over here on the left, we've got an orange Wrangler, and on the right, we've got a green Wrangler. I want you to think like a client. Which one of these is more visually appealing to you? I mean, obviously, they're both cool. They both have, an interesting color package. They're Jeeps. They're awesome vehicles. But if you're honest, I'm going to guess that your eyes are naturally drawn to the Jeep on the right. That one's mine. Now, what I've done is posted a Wrangler, right? But I'm thinking like a client. I want to know, what's going to pull somebody's attention in while they're scrolling through hundreds of different items. And the main thing that you're going to want to do is eliminate headroom. I've had people that I've sat down with and spent, significant amounts of time with, telling them and teaching them exactly what I'm teaching you guys right now. And I'll look at their marketplace post, and it's still, it's a picture of the Jeep, but then it's also that, Chevy Silverado behind it. Or, I've got some other pictures where, we're focusing on a Jeep Renegade, but we're seeing all the Dodge Caravans and everything behind it. And I promise you guys, good photos equal good leads, which equal good money in your pocket. So that's why I've made pictures number one. It's the most important step. And if you take a picture like the one on your left, I could fix that up for them. What you want to do is crop and resize to eliminate headroom. And that's all that area that's above the Jeep, to the left of it, to the right of it. And you'll see on my Jeep there on the right, all we're seeing is the tires, the body, and the top. And it looks cool. It's the same thing that takes the same amount of time, but one of them just looks a little bit better, right?
Man, I have to say, when you first sent me, or I had a look on your marketplace, I was like, man, I've been part of a lot of dealerships and helped dealerships take photos. I thought they were the most bizarre photos, but you know what's interesting about them is they don't tell the full story. And that's the cool part from my perspective, is you want to click on because you want to see the rest of the car. Well, the car on the left, all I see is the generic, stock.
Right. I mean, it's the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so I love it. It's creative. The one on the right is creative, and it gets you wanting more, which is really cool.
And I'm going to be honest. I grew up as one of the MySpace kids, so I got real used to like getting good angle shots and everything. But it's really, it's take 2 seconds to save yourself 2 hours, or and that gets me to my next point. We're trying to see the car differently, right? So imagine a car commercial. I mean, we've all got access to the same vehicles, but if we can present them in a different way that somebody else hasn't shown, you got that extra little spark or that extra opportunity to get that lead on your post, and then into your CRM, then on your showroom, and then, on your sold list. And that's the whole goal here. So again, I want you, when you're posting these vehicles, to see the car differently. I want you to imagine where your client, what your customer is going to be doing in this car. Kind of the same way, when we're doing a really detailed walk around, we're not just saying, hey, there's your lane departure assist, or whatever it is. We're giving customers examples and scenarios in which they're going to be using what we're talking about. So with the Jeep, I'm lucky. I'm a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram guy. I've got some really cool products. With my Renegades, I'll take them out into the gravel. You don't have to go, off to an off-road trail. But, if you've got something, say a Tahoe, go downtown and take some cool pictures on the street. Just think like a client and see the vehicle differently, because I've got 20 guys in my dealership. We're all posting the same things, but for some reason, my posts are the ones that are consistently generating positive results, and the proof is in the pudding. So yeah, I'm going to give you another thing I want to touch on regarding the pictures is I see people that have good content, they have good hooks, and they've adopted some of the things that I talk to people about regarding pictures. But sometimes they overload the clients with, nobody needs to see 15 or 20 different pictures of, every little piece of technology. So I use a three-pronged attack, 3 rules with my pictures. You want a side angle shot. And what you're looking at right there with my green Wrangler, that's what I mean by a side angle shot. Okay. You also want to get a picture of any special badging. So if you've got a Willis Edition Wrangler, you're going to get that. If you've got a Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, you're going to get a picture of the Trackhawk badging. So, or if it's just a 4x4, whatever it is, you want to get a picture of the badging so the customers know what type of model or trim level you're talking about. And then another important picture is you want to get an interior shot from the back seat focused on the console in the middle. This really, really comes into play if we're talking about third row vehicles or anything that's got some really awesome tech. Now, I'm glad you found this picture to show it. You guys look at that screen here. This is something I just took this morning. That's my local marketplace. And to look at the comment, I bet you guys can probably pick out which vehicles are mine and, which vehicles aren't. I can see right now that Jeep Cherokee, that Jeep Renegade, the Compass, and the Wrangler. Those are all mine. And I guarantee, I'm dealing with the leads right now, but as a consumer, not to toot my own horn, but you're gonna click on my link versus the whatever that is there in the middle, the exhibition there in the middle. Like there's a guy on the bottom left there that looks good, but you can see visually as a client which ones you're going to be drawn to, and in this case those would be mine. So we want to.
Is that your house, Don Box?
What's that?
Is that your house?
No, it's not. No. No. Selling houses. I've seen some crazy stuff on there. Does anybody else have any questions about the pictures, or how do we
yeah. So Chris Yancey's got a question about, do you go off the lot to take the photos? Where do you take these mainly?
Yeah, so I have the benefit of having a dealership that recognizes what I'm doing as effective is being effective. So I have a little bit of leeway. I'm able to take some vehicles off the lot, but when I started out, you don't have to. There's absolutely, it all depends, see the vehicle differently. You visualize the picture that you're taking. And, if you can't take it off the lot, pull it around to the service bay. You really want to showcase the vehicle. Again, even if it's on a crowded lot, if you take 2 seconds to think about the picture and get your shot, you don't have to go off the lot. Of course, it's better if you can, but I don't want to make these tips or whatever feel like they're in any way restrictive, because it's cool.
I feel like, I like the fact when we talk about it in the inner circle, is your lighting is just fantastic. That's the thing that strikes me about your pictures versus the rest, is you've really thought about the time of day and taking, good quality photos. Are you just using your phone, or are you using a digital camera?
Yeah, no, man. The thing about this, I've built my entire brand, my whole business and everything from my phone. I've got an iPad now, but this is all stuff that you can use with this right here. I'm using a laptop right now, but I don't bring one of those every day. I barely even use my iPad. Everything you can do is right here, and that's what's impressive. And I'm telling you guys, this is the winner chicken dinner. Before we move on from pictures, I wanted to say real quick, I see Matt Jackson, 4 States Negotiator, asking about watermarks. I think that's Matt Jackson. But when you're posting pictures to Facebook Marketplace, do not put a filter, which oftentimes makes the vehicle pop a little bit better. Do not put a filter on when you're posting to Marketplace, or Marketplace will kick the post. You won't even know it, but absolutely nobody will see it. So you can have the coolest picture, the coolest post in the world, but if nobody's seeing it, you're just wasting your time. So remember that. No filters.
Okay. And there was a question a little bit earlier about, do you post as a dealer or as yourself?
Okay. So that's kind of onto the next topic, posts. I'm posting, there was no option to distinguish myself between a dealer and an individual. And of course I work for the Fletcher Auto Group down at the Fletcher Superstore in Joplin, Missouri. But as this is a competitive industry, right? We're all lions hunting for the same gazelles. I don't immediately advertise where I'm at. And that's not because I'm trying to be disingenuous, but it's because I want to get that lead and set that appointment, or at least get you into my CRM before I say, hey, yeah, this awesome car that you're super interested in is down at my massive lot, where if your first instinct is to just, let's go find the car, you may not think to get in touch with me. So it's not, and there's, in the phrases section, I'll kind of go over how we address that issue, but you never want to lie to the customer or mislead the customer, but there are ways to use conversation and get kind of around the issue. So for me, a big one is, where's this located? And I'll say, well, I'm located in Joplin, Missouri. I work with the Fletcher Auto Group, yada, yada. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay, so that's secret number 1 is photos. They're so important. Secret number 2 is your posts. Okay, so you gave plenty of examples there, which was awesome to see. Again, visual, appealing. I love it. Talk to me about posts.
Yeah, so posts I've got broken down into three different sections here. The first is, how do you post specifically to Marketplace? And I've got a couple different rules here. One, you need to be posting at least 3 vehicles every single day. If you're somebody who's starting out in this, one, then why you don't have time for it, and two, you just need to do it. So 3 vehicles minimum every single day. Do not worry about oversaturating marketplace. It cannot be done. You know, Sean and Dave, you guys talked about this a little bit in Orlando, but the internet's a big place. Facebook is massive. And even if you're in a small podunk little town, there's enough people posting different things that I promise you, you're not going to oversaturate it. And if you do, who's that really hurting? Nobody. So first rule, you're posting 3 a day. What do you post? I want you to post 1 of every single vehicle that you have. Not every vehicle, but for me, I'm a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram salesman. So I have a post about the Chrysler Pacifica. I have one about the Dodge Charger, the Dodge Challenger, everything in Jeep, everything in Ram, at least 1. Okay, so that gives you a couple different things to do each day. You're also going to want to post 1 of anytime you see a special color or a special package. Like right now in our showroom, we've got a Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Probably not going to sell that on Marketplace, but I've got a picture of it on there. The Renegades have super cool colors. So I've got, you know, the lime green one out there. I've got orange ones out there. Got a really cool blue Charger right now. So anytime you get a special colored vehicle, even if you've already posted, say, a Jeep Renegade, if you've got a black one, go ahead and throw that lime green one on there and watch how many people are like, ooh, you know, and it works. You're also going to want to post every single pre-owned vehicle. This is the important one. Every single pre-owned vehicle under $15,000. Why? Because they're extremely affordable. And if your dealership allows you to post a projected monthly payment, I mean, you guys know what we're talking about here. Post on Facebook Marketplace, say, hey, you can drive for $180 a month. I promise you, you're going to have more leads than you know what to do with. But getting back to that point about, do I just post new or just post used? Obviously, you're going to post new. Obviously, you're going to post used. And I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to have more immediate financial success with those used vehicles. So if you're somebody who doesn't have any used inventory, you know, you're going to adapt. It may take a little longer to get the kind of results that you're wanting. But if you follow the formula, if you're engaging with every single lead that you get, don't be put off by the fact that, you know, you don't have a pre-owned any pre-owned inventory. It's just not, it's not a reality. You're going to get results if you stick at it. Okay. The next step regarding your posts.
Okay. So Tom, let me just pull back for a sec. So post, you want to post, you said every vehicle or every, so like you're talking then every car under $15,000. But you just said to me 3 a day. So are you picking 3 of your vehicles basically to post per day and getting those ready and then posting 3 per day?
So when I first started out, I made a list of every type of vehicle that I sold and every trim level that I had. You make that out, and I'm going to be honest with you. When I started out, I mean I was cold, broke, and hungry, right? So I posted a heck of a lot more than 3 a day. I truly flooded the marketplace. I posted everything. But it's for somebody who's just starting out, you know, if you're hungry, man, do 30 a day. It doesn't matter. But once you get things going and you're at a point and you get, it's just, you want to be consistently posting something. So you have that top of mind awareness for the customer who's just scrolling and they're like, oh man, there's another cool Jeep. You know, let's go in today. But you want to get that variety and you want to consistently be posting for sure.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah. So the next step, we did differentiate between marketplace and groups. Now, when you post to Facebook Marketplace, one of the last steps is it's going to ask you, do you want to post this to other places? Now, on my phone, Facebook gives me the option to post to up to 10 different groups. Now, before you really jump into Marketplace, if you're somebody who's taking this seriously, you need to join all of the local, I call them buy-sell groups. If you take the name of your town, you know, Detroit buy-sell, Detroit vehicles, just search it on Facebook and you're going to find the groups I'm talking about. You're probably already in some of them: garage sale groups, trade and barter, and check smaller cities around you too, and join those groups, because the last step, I believe, or one of the last steps on Marketplace is, again, to gives you the option to share to other groups, and you can share to up to 10 different groups, and you're going to find, within a couple days, or not even that long, if you check what groups are active, what groups are worth being a member of, because those 10 groups they're important, because you're going to have your post on Facebook Marketplace, obviously, and then you share to groups, which ultimately, when you're posting to a group, you're using that as an advertisement or a billboard. I get a lot of interest, and I get a lot of people saying, "Ooh, hey," or more often than not, they'll tag, say, their boyfriend or their brother in a post and say, "Hey, doesn't this look cool?" And so even if I'm not selling that particular car on the group, because I'm typically selling it in Marketplace, I've got a massive billboard there with tons of exposure. And the important thing is, on groups, go ahead. You'd have to go in afterwards. It's okay if you're posting separately to groups. This is something other people do. You can have your watermark. I saw somebody asking about that on groups, but I use the same post from Marketplace to groups. I just share everything to those local buy-sell groups. One thing I will say about posting to those local buy-sell groups is you have to be vigilant. If you post the purple Dodge Demon on Marketplace and share it to groups, and then you remove it because you've sold it, because you're a sales hustler and you're a closer using Marketplace magic and getting it done, you remove it and market is sold on Marketplace, on groups, that vehicle's still going to be there. And one of the issues that you'll run into is if you're not actively and proactively going out and taking down your listings from groups, some of those group administrators may get in touch with you and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" I think I looked in a group last week and I had 54 vehicles listed, and like 30 of them had already been sold. So be vigilant and be active. Yeah, there we go. Baron, he's talking about it. I'm seeing a question. Probably should have addressed it a bit earlier. Everybody's asking about price. I'm fortunate in that my dealership allows me to advertise a projected monthly payment, because on our website we have a payment calculator, and typically, everybody always asks me, how do you know what price to put? My dealership uses that. I see 16 different payment options at various terms with multiple down payment options. So for every vehicle I present, I'm seeing 16 payment options. Some of it's just a guess, but I've also got a payment calculator. If your website or your company doesn't have that, you're somebody new in the business, go ahead and factor the vehicle at $1,500 down, 84 months, 72 months, whatever your longest term is, and throw a 5% interest rate, 8% interest rate, whatever's on there. A lot of people ask, do people get mad because it seems like your vehicles are so low? I typically get within $30 to $40 of whatever the ultimate payment's going to be. And unless somebody's a zero and they're getting a 28% interest rate, you're not going to run into that issue. And if they are, that's somebody that's a first-time buyer that has a crazy interest rate, you explain to them, "Hey, I'm not being disingenuous. Your credit score is just not average." So I know people have a lot of hesitation, and a lot of dealerships don't want you to post a projected price. But if you look at my posts, and that's something I'm going to talk about in the inner circle, is how you really phrase your posts so you don't get into any legal trouble or anything like that. Yeah, it's really important, because there's, if you're throwing 17,997, looks not as appealing as 234, right? And that's something, again, I'm going to get into in the inner circle, how you really walk the line while still remaining viable to your customers.
Okay, I just wanted to quickly, I'm going to turn my change of screen for a second, and I want to show you. I'm going to show you. Just entire screen. I'm going to show you something for a second, and that is. Let me just close. This is the group. So I just did a quick search on groups for Detroit car buyers groups, or buy and sell, and you'll see here in a second. I'm bringing it up. How many groups now? I put it out of a group last night, and I was talking about it. Stop yourself getting kicked out of some of these. You're posting, 30 posts a day and all that sort of stuff. If I'm going into Detroit buy and sell, if I'm going into, posting to all these groups? How do I stop getting either in Facebook jail or getting kicked out of the group?
Yeah. What I've found is I've run into trouble by sharing multiple posts to the same groups in the same day. I'm in enough groups that, I can share one post to 10 and then share a different post to 10 others. And then you can come back. What you don't want to do the groups are not marketplace. Unless you're in a group that has more than 10,000 people, if you're showing pictures of your vehicles to the same 20 or 30 people, they're going to get, understandably and rightfully bothered by your spam, because that's ultimately what it is. But if you join enough groups and you really, again, it all gets back to effort, guys. It all gets back to how much time and energy you're going to put into it. If you just put in a little bit of work, you're going to have that diversity in posting places and opportunities, because groups are vital. Marketplace makes you the money. Groups are your advertisements, and you don't spend a dime for any of this. But one final thing, I do want you guys, and I do recommend posting certain vehicles to your personal page, not everything, because, and this, various strategies, you can talk about it differently. Special packages and special colors, or any post that you've also got a walk around video to, throw those on your personal page, right? Because you don't want to, or at least I'm of the school of thought that I sell cars, but it's not everything in my life. And I think so. Any of you guys that know me or have been friends with me for a while know that. But if I've got a cool Renegade that I think people are going to love, I'm going to put it on there. Or, the Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. I want to show my friends that, because even if they're not buying a car, I think it's cool. And I have a ton of traction on my Facebook profile. So don't just post to groups. Don't just post to Marketplace. Remember and utilize your business page and your personal page.
Fantastic. So what we're talking about here is from a post point of view. You're not overly. You can go crazy. Let me clarify. You can go crazy on Marketplace from 30 posts a day. You can't do that same thing into your groups.
Yeah,
and you definitely don't do it on your personal profile.
Absolutely. And Dave, I think when I was going through my 10 weeks in the inner circle, I got banned like 3 times, and it's surprising because you're not banned from Marketplace, but I'll need to sit down and crunch the numbers, but not being able to post in any groups or interact or respond to anybody, man, it's a momentum killer. And so you want to avoid it and be strategic and make it work.
If you haven't been in there, it's called, we call it, nickname it Facebook jail. And it's very easy to get in Facebook jail. I actually posted about this webinar, and I posted to a couple of groups before I went to bed last night. And I accidentally, I didn't mean to, but I posted it to Sales Humor Group. I was instantly booted from the group. I'm like, I saw sales. It was 1:30 in the morning, and I just went. I posted it, and boom, I'm booted straight away. And the problem is, if you get marked like that, you can get thrown into what they call Facebook jail for a week, 2 weeks, where you can't message anybody, you can't interact on groups, and man, it just hamstrings your business.
And there's no way around it. I've sent I've sent really nice letters to Facebook. I've tried begging and pleading, and it's to no avail. I got the ban hammer for 3 weeks. Don't risk it. Think smarter and get it done.
Yeah.
But the most important one. Yeah. So regarding the phrases, I'm going to get into and cover how to overcome the most common objections, how to overcome the most common hurdles and different issues that arise, challenges that arise in dealing strictly on Facebook Marketplace in the Inner Circle Mastermind I'm going to be doing next week. But I did pull, again, 3 phenomenal tips on how to effectively communicate with your clients on Facebook Marketplace. And the first one, it's not a phrase, but it's what you're going to call a credit app. It's not a credit app. It's a qualification form. If the whole goal with setting up or with posting on Facebook Marketplace and sharing to groups is to get appointments and close deals, a qualification form is one of the most important tools you can have. So my dealership, thankfully, again, I can't speak for everybody. We have an online credit app. that we're able to send out. The lead goes to our BDC, and I'm able to pull that information and see right away, what their income is, what vehicle they're looking at, what their auto credit history is. And it's just a little bit of prep work that you're able to do before your client gets here to, again, we don't want to pre-qualify, but if you're at the point that you're ready to set an appointment and bring somebody in, save yourself some time, get that credit app taken care of, and know, one, if you can get them pre-approved, and two, if there are any steps or other things that you're going to need, that qualification form is going to go ahead and let you know right away. So again, first tip, stop calling it a credit app. It's a qualification form. It really, it disarms the client.
On the line, but your website, Dom Does Cars, and so you've got the ability to click on get an online pre-approval for financing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So if you were to click on that right there, a big shout out to Dave Benson and the Inner Circle for whipping up my my webpage. It's awesome. It's generated a ton of leads. But yeah, so right there, get online pre-approval for financing. If you were to click on that, it's going to take you straight to my personal credit app, and it's going to go straight to my BDC. I'm going to get a notification, and I haven't done anything. I haven't even had to interact with customers. Right there.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yep. So I mean, it's something that another one of our there you go, finance application straight away.
Yep. Right there. And that's one of the, the Inner Circle, one, it's a great group of people, but two, look at the benefit. I mean, I've got a professional looking website that is generating me leads while I sleep and giving me that air of social authority. Because yeah, Facebook's great, but if somebody Googles me, the first thing that's going to pop up is that website. And if they can schedule a test drive, get pre-approved, and check my inventory without even talking to me, think of the time that's been saved. It's massive.
Yeah. Keith McKenzie is part of the Inner Circle as well. What he does is you would have seen on Dom's website, if I just go back, you would have seen on Dom's website that there was a book a test drive link. And basically what he does is for Marketplace is post that book a test drive link. And he posted in the Inner Circle the other day that he, while he was sleeping, got 4 test drive requests for the following day.
That's something I need to start employing. I know Dave, you and Sean turned me on to Calendly. If I could really start getting those test drives increased, man, it would be even better. So shout out to Keith or whoever found that little nugget. It's awesome. I want to get into now the 2 most common things that you're going to hear when you post anything to Marketplace. The first thing that somebody, I guess, I really don't shop on Marketplace that much, which is really interesting, but there must be a button, I think there is, that says I'm interested in this item. Okay, so you're going to get, I'm typically getting realistically anywhere from 30 to 50 leads or that were responses. I'm going to call them leads because that's what they are, to every single post that I make. And about half of them, it's just, I'm interested in this. And the other half, is this available? So I'm sure anybody, that's posted is familiar with this. So I wanted to get into how I respond to, I'm interested in this. It's, thanks for reaching out, Mr. Customer. As you can imagine, it's gotten a ton of attention. Does this afternoon or this evening work best for you to come by and take it for a spin? Okay. First, we are addressing the customer, right? Thanks for reaching out, Mr. Customer. As you can imagine, yeah, it's got a ton of attention. And then we're immediately transitioning into setting that appointment. Can you come in tonight or tomorrow? Today or tonight? Yada, yada. Is this available? Okay. Keyshawn was awesome. This is a post that, there's about 7 different Fletcher dealerships in my town. And as I was leaving work the other night, I thought, hey, let's go to pre-owned number 2 and check out their inventory. Saw this awesome 2013 Chrysler 300. It took me less than 5 minutes, snapped 3 pictures, put up a little dialogue. And as you can see here, Keyshawn messages me at like 8:45. Is this available? Yeah. Hey, Keyshawn. What are you currently driving? We're all, we're addressing the customer, but we're not getting lost in conversation, right? We're always ABC, always be closing. but you do it conversationally. So let's look at this. Is this available? Hey, Keyshawn, it sure is. What are you currently driving? What are you currently driving finds out, one, do they have a vehicle? Two, do they have a trade? And three, how bad do they really need a car? Okay, so yeah, Keyshawn's got or had a 2006 Scion XB. Next, my favorite body style, it's all paid off, right? So I'm going to find out, one, is there any payoff? Two, can we make this quick? Am I going to have to do a lot of paperwork? And he said, yep, I've got it. Yeah, it's paid off. Says, yeah, I've got it paid off. And then my next question, great. Are you working full time? All of these are qualifying questions without coming out directly and saying, how much money do you make? What's your payoff? It's all about taking, the steps that we know, the steps to the sale, and adapting them to a new marketplace. Really? So, great. Are you working full time? He says, yeah, he works at the local casino. And I made sure, hey, you've got the title to the Scion? He says, yes. Great. What time do you work tomorrow? It was his day off. And within 12 hours of me posting a picture on Marketplace, Keyshawn bought his first new to him car and drove off happier than a clam. So it can be, it's quick. It's quick, guys. It's, if I had to guess, and from what I've seen, a lot of where people are struggling is they're getting lost in these conversations. Now, rapport is great. Rapport is absolutely necessary. But why are we posting to Marketplace? We're posting to sell cars. If you're a good salesman and you're a true salesman, and you're a real people person, you don't need to build rapport on Facebook, right? You're going to do that when they're there in front of you. On Facebook, on Marketplace, the whole goal is to get them in your dealership and then get them into that new car, right? So some people are like, oh, you're cold, you're quick. And my customers love it because I'm not talking to them. I'm not wasting their time asking them about their day until they're in front of me, right? Because their whole objective is to buy the car. My whole objective is to make it as smooth, seamless, and easy as possible. And that's what I do. So,
yeah. What we call in the inner circle, we've got, obviously, Dom's got his website, domdoescars.com. Go and check it out. What we encourage those to be is authority amplifiers. So basically, you can do all the rapport building when people are comfortable and you don't have to go backwards and forwards with this long-winded conversation. Your website and your videos and what the credibility for you. So that's why it's not just getting Marketplace right. It's actually having so that you are, you're building that credibility with your clients without having to go. I think that's powerful, Dom, that you don't have to go backwards and forwards for half an hour.
And honestly, Dave, I wanted to not to get off topic or anything, but that authority amplifier, that was something again you guys talked about in Orlando, and I thought, I've got Marketplace, I've got my funny videos, but I can't even tell you how much more professional my entire operation became when I got that logo and I got that website, because I've had people that I've never even talked to, never walk up on the lot and say, hey, we were on Google or, wherever. And we got on Dom Does Cars website and we saw this, and they come in, and these are people, again, I've never even talked to that have somehow found my website and have shown up on my dealership or at my dealership and are now, customers for life. And that, again, shout out to the inner circle for that, because you can be really good at one or two things, but being, in a community of like-minded individuals that can bounce ideas and give each other these growth opportunities, it has just been phenomenal. So really
good stuff. Any other advice on phrases for us, Dom?
Yes. Okay. So to get specifically into it, you want to be what's called forward speaking. Okay. On is this available? Keyshawn was a good example of me actually using it. But when you're addressing your customers, you speak to them as if they've already bought the car. So, hey, Mr. Customer, thanks for reaching out to me about your new Dodge Journey. Will you be trading in or financing this purchase? This purchase is the important part, right? on I'm interested in this. Thanks for reaching out, Mr. Customer. Does this afternoon or this evening work best for you to come take your new Chrysler 300 out for a spin? So it's these little subconscious things that we're doing that, you know, even if they have no intention of buying that, you know, that Kia Soul, by putting it in their mind, it's good. People naturally don't want to be disagreeable. So they're going to say, oh, you know, I'm going to be doing this, even if they don't. And the more times you get them thinking about the car or the truck as theirs, I mean, just watch. It's marketplace magic. It works.
Right.
Yeah. And that's, it's very similar to, you know, asking your customer on the test drive, you know, where's the first place you're going to be taking your new Jeep Wrangler? But it's, you know, just little subtle things in the dialogue, your purchase, your new, it really, really helps. But yeah, that's again, regarding conversations, there's, you know, in this format, I cannot get into every single interaction or way to get around it. But for those of you that are already in the inner circle, next Thursday, I'm gonna get in and break down in detail the conversations that you're going to experience, how to address them correctly, and how to turn. I mean, if we could go back to one of the pictures, you'll see my conversations. I literally have hundreds of leads, and I spend, right there on the picture on the right there, every single one. I mean, I can't even respond to all of them because I'm still out on the lot, but it's a good problem to have. But I mean, you guys can see this. I mean, I've been doing this for a little while, but if you put in, I promise you put in an hour of work tonight, you'll have more work and more leads than you know what to do with by the end of the week. Guaranteed.
Look at that. I mean, that is just, I mean, that's a snapshot of his phone. What is that today?
Yeah, that's just today. That's what, an hour ago.
And you went and got a haircut and had half a day off today.
Yeah, well, I haven't posted anything today, you know, and I've got all of this. It's
That's the power. That's the power. That's what we talk about at Sales Hustlers all the time, about why you've got to be good on social media, why you've got to be good at video, why you've got to be good at marketplace and things like that, is because you need to get leads while you sleep. Because really swapping your time for money is a poor man's way of thinking. It really is. But when you've got an ability to create,
sorry,
you work, your office. And you've made mention to it a couple of times now. I want to go to some questions in a moment, but you've made mention of it a couple of times. The next steps really for
hello. Hello.
Content that he has put in, there he is, he's back.
Hey.
The content that you've put into this tonight, like, this is not a 1 hour training session. This is not a few, hey, help me out with a simple text message back. I mean, this is quite in depth, right? So if you follow those 3 simple steps, you can sell a car by the end of the week. But we really want to go deeper with you. Is that right, Dom?
Absolutely. I mean, again, these are a couple different tricks that you can incorporate to sell 3 or 4 extra cars a month. If you want to, this isn't snake oil. This is a science. Again, if you want to generate 100% or, you know, a larger percentage of your sales from social media, get in the inner circle, be on that mastermind next week, and give me a couple hours, or give me, you know, again, last month was insane. Yesterday, this is the first day of the month. Give me a couple more days to finish up everything that I'm going to be teaching you guys in that mastermind. And I promise you, 50, 75, 90, 95% of your leads can come from social media. No sweat, no running the lot. You know, I need more time. I cannot teach you guys everything. It's already been, what, almost an hour, you know?
Yep. Well, what I want to do is I want to spend a couple of minutes just really quickly, and Dom's going to give me a hand with this, is just running you through, giving you an opportunity to really join us on next Thursday. So what we do is we run, as part of the Inner Circle, we run every Thursday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. We run a mastermind class, which is both training and coaching. And Dom's taken over with Marketplace Magic next Thursday, which is going to be really powerful. And I want to give you the opportunity to join and to try it out completely free and all be on that session, which is really, really cool. So what I'd love you to do is I've got a free gift for you if you stick around to the end of this. I'm going to take 5 minutes of your time, whether you're watching it pre-recorded or whether you're watching it live. This offer is for you. So there's 7 other steps that Dom wants to cover, but obviously, as I said, we're not able to do that tonight. But the good news is, like I said, we're going to do it next Thursday morning. So let me run you through a little bit of a briefing. Could I just have in the comments section, who's tell me if you're part of the inner circle. I know there's heaps of guys in the inner circle that are on this call. Alternatively, if you've never heard of it, just say never heard in the comments section if you've never heard of the inner circle. Because basically what this is a 10-week, 10-step training course to run you through basically the blueprint of how to sell more cars on social media using your personal brand and to really engage via video. And so what we have is a 10-week, 10-step personal branding blueprint. And so you can see the 10 steps there off to the right-hand side. And it's very simple. We step you through week by week the exact steps in order of what you need to do in order to blow your weeks. And as Dom said, he's been part of it since October. He was part of that first intake. And we've seen the results here tonight, which is really powerful. So the first thing you get is you get an online portal with a 10-step blueprint, a whole stack of videos, downloadable PDFs, which is really, really powerful. You get all access to that straight away as soon as you join. On top of that, so these PDFs, you get weekly challenges and weekly exercises to make sure that you're implementing stuff. Which you get as part of the Inner Circle program is you get a weekly mastermind. So, like I said, every single Eastern Standard Time, we go live with a new training on a new topic and some new coaching.
I have to cut in real quick, and I have to cut in real quick and let you guys know. Before I was in Sales Hustlers, so I had to run across the dealership. I was in another group that had a similar
That's
similar
my
concept.
internet or yours number you have cut out. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, go again.
Yeah, so what I was saying is prior to joining the Inner Circle with Sales Hustlers, I was involved in another kind of mastermind group with somebody else that some of you guys may have heard of. And, it sounded good, it sounded cool, but there was no accountability. The weekly sessions we were supposed to have were more often than not just kind of sitting there watching, a guy in his, living room just kind of talk to us. You could tell it wasn't structured. I cannot tell you, even if you have a morning meeting every day, I cannot tell you how powerful and motivating it is to have a group of, at the time it was just my pod of 13, I think it was, every week meeting with people from across the world, across the country, literally from all walks of life, trying to do what we're doing and just having that creative spark, man. I cannot thank the Inner Circle and Dave and Sean enough for giving me that just having, and I'm somebody who had to really work to start waking up early, but just that one day a week, every Thursday for me, it wasn't at 7 a.m., it was at 6 a.m. Every week, I'm getting that passion, I'm getting that energy and that coaching that everybody needs. If I don't care if you're a 30-car guy. If you're a 30-car guy, you can be a 40-car guy. If you're a 40-car guy, you can be a 60-car guy. But none of us can do that without coaches, without mentors, and without a group of people trying to do what you're doing. Because if you're doing it alone, you're doing it wrong. I promise you, it's so much more powerful being in a group of people who can push you, who can keep you accountable, who know what's going on. And most importantly, when we have those successes, when we have those months like I just had, man, to have a group of people that aren't in the dealership, because it's, man, when you're successful, which you will be, it gets kind of lonely at the top. But man, having my Inner Circle pod, having Dave and Sean, all access to just say, hey, you know, we see what you're doing, and you know, maybe you can work on this, or hey, can you advise on this? I've never been a part of a more, you know, just awesome is the right word. The what we talked about is real. There's a reason why I went to Orlando. There's a reason why Billy Sherman went out to Las Vegas. There's a reason why people all over the world are rocking Sales Hustlers t-shirts and wristbands. Y'all join the movement. I promise you, you will not regret it. I promise.
We have a few internet connection issues, but I appreciate you sharing. And the great thing is, Dom, Dom's not being paid to say that. I really appreciate your honesty. What I've done is I've partnered with, you know, I'm not selling cars anymore, but what I've done is partnered with people like Dom and people like Sean Hayes to put this together of people that have already done it, that they're a few steps ahead of where you might be on the journey, which is really powerful. So for the sake of time, and especially with my average internet connection, I think somebody's internet bicycle again. I want to go very quickly of what this includes. And so basically what you get is you get weekly mastermind sessions, like we said. You also get access to a member-only photo. You can interact with a small group of people. You can see there we have 88 people wanting to join the group at the moment. And we want to give you the ability to access that if you choose on a special offer tonight. The next thing that we have is we have small support groups of 6 to 12. We're just reworking that to see how many are going to be in your group. But basically a support group and keep you accountable to some of the goals. And the cool thing, this is the sexy stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is you get your personal branded logo, and like we showed with Dom and with the Fist Pump guy, you get an Authority Amplifier website created for you as part of the inner circle. So we didn't want to just give you theory and training and all that sort of stuff. We actually wanted to help you with the practical elements to actually implement some of this stuff and actually do it. Right? Your website all designed for you. Now, there's a couple of bonuses that we've got for you at the moment. The first bonus is that you get 3 months of Quick Page. Now, this offer at the moment is available. Chad Morgan and Quick Page, the best app in the business from my point of view.
Shout out to
He's given us 3 months. Come on, man, they're amazing. Seriously.
He's more than.
He's more than just a bid, man. Seriously, I laughed for hours on that. Quick Page, excellent. The second, you have to keep rolling. The second bonus is